Primates on the moon? Only when you hear the name of this car do you instantly know you're looking at one of the most criminally underrated performance bargains of the early 1960s. Ladies and gentlemen, meet the 1962 Plymouth Savoy. At first glance, it looks like a clean, no-nonsense family cruiser with those unmistakable flat deck lines and long, low proportions. But don't let the modest badge fool you. This was a wolf in very subtle sheep's clothing. As a lifelong Mopar historian and classic muscle car specialist, I've always believed the Savoy represents one of Chrysler's smartest engineering decisions of the era and one of the most overlooked gems in the entire golden decade of American performance. The 1962 Plymouth Savoy was marketed primarily as a practical, roomy full-size car for everyday families. Yet beneath that sensible skin, it carried serious firepower. What most buyers never realized, and what becomes clearer every year we study the period, is how brilliant Chrysler's decision was to abandon the gigantic, heavy S-Series platform in favor of this new, lighter, more efficient B-body. Compared to its predecessors and to the competition, these cars were roomier inside, handled noticeably better, accelerated harder, and sipped fuel more responsibly. As an expert who has driven and restored dozens of cars from this exact era, I can tell you these were genuinely superior all-rounders. The long hood. Short deck proportions were years ahead of their time. They literally foreshadowed the Mustang and the entire personal luxury and pony car movement that followed. In my opinion, it's one of the most prophetic designs Detroit ever produced, yet it flew completely under the radar in 1962. Plymouth built some legendary machines in the 1960s, but the Savoy rarely makes the highlight reels, largely because of its polarizing, somewhat awkward styling. That's a shame, because the final generation 1962 to 1964 models have something truly special to brag about. The legendary 413 cubic inch, 6.8-liter Max Wedge V8. For most of its life, the Savoy was the entry to mid-level, full-size Plymouth. High-performance options simply didn't exist for it in the 1950s. Everything changed in 1962. Plymouth downsized the platform, added the 383, and, most importantly, dropped the race-bred Max Wedge onto the option sheet, rated it up to 420 horsepower in street form. This engine was every bit as potent as the 426 Hemi that would arrive a few years later. In my professional experience, these Max Wedge Savoys are the ultimate sleepers. They were expensive when new, so take rates were low. Today, they're exceptionally rare. The stunning black 1960 two-door post car you're looking at isn't a full factory Max Wedge, but it sits very close to that territory, and the nut and bolt restoration quality is absolutely museum grade. Two-door post examples are already scarce. One this clean is a genuine find. Back in the mid-1960s, Car Life magazine conducted an early test of a bone-stock 1962 Plymouth Savoy at Chrysler's Proving Grounds, months before the cars officially hit showrooms. Their subject was the most humble version possible, a low-trim Savoy with the 230 horsepower 318 Poly V8, 3-speed manual on the column, and 0 power assists. The testers were pleasantly surprised. They noted the interior was roomier than before, especially for leg and headroom. Six-footers found it genuinely comfortable. Performance? A very respectable 0 to 60 miles per hour in 10.5 seconds and a quarter mile in 17.2 seconds at 77 miles per hour. That was quicker than many far more expensive luxury cars of the period. Top speed was estimated around 110 miles per hour. As someone who has personally driven multiple 318-powered B-bodies, I can confirm the torquey nature of these engines made the 3-speed manual feel surprisingly effortless. You could start in second gear and simply cruise. The ride was firm yet composed. It actually planted the car better than many larger, softer American sedans of the time. The new instrument panel was a standout. To this day, it remains one of my absolute favorite dashboards of the entire era. Clean, functional, and driver-focused. Would I daily drive one today? Absolutely. The 318 with a 3-speed is a delightful, low-stress combination. The Max Wedge versions are outright monsters that still command respect on modern roads. Steering is slow and unassisted by modern standards. But once you're up to speed, the road feel is pure and honest, something we've largely lost in today's cars. Fuel economy? Car Life optimistically guessed 18 to 20 miles per gallon for careful drivers. In reality, high teens are achievable on the highway with the smaller engines, which was impressive for a V8 in 1962. That combination of room, performance, and efficiency is exactly why I consider these cars such intelligent buys even now. The 1962 Plymouth Savoy wasn't flashy, but it was honest, capable, and, in Max Wedge form, devastatingly quick. It's a true thinking man's muscle car. Have you ever owned a 1960 Savoy or known someone who did? Drop your stories in the comments. I read every single one. If you enjoyed this deep dive, please hit like and subscribe so you never miss future classic Mopar content. Until next time, keep the wheels turning and the classics alive.